Let me take you on a captivating journey to Iceland, a country known for its open-mindedness and breathtaking nature. When it comes to sexual relationships, Icelanders embrace an incredibly open culture, which includes nudism. This might surprise people from other countries and cultures, but hey, that's just how they roll. On the flip side, it can be surprising for Icelanders to learn that some folks from different nationalities feel a lot of modesty about being naked or engaging in casual relationships. But hey, to each their own, right? In Icelandic culture, it's totally normal to have open discussions about sexuality. Relationships and nudism are seen as natural expressions, and people don't feel ashamed to be themselves. It's a refreshing and accepting atmosphere where people feel free to express their desires and preferences. And let's talk about Icelandic women. They wield significant influence within their society and households. They are assertive, take initiative, and are not dependent on men. These strong and empowered women are truly inspiring. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Iceland's incredible natural wonders. This country has become famous for its stunning and unique landscapes. From volcanoes to glaciers, horses to puffins, nature lovers will find paradise in Iceland. The Icelanders deeply appreciate their natural surroundings, and who can blame them? One of the gems of Icelandic nature is the Skogafoss waterfall. Picture this: vibrant green grass surrounds the waterfall in the summer, while it stands majestically covered in snow during the winter. With a width of 82 feet and an impressive drop of 197 feet, it's a sight to behold. According to legend, the area's first Viking buried treasure in the cave beneath the waterfall. How cool is that? But wait, there's more to Iceland's history. In the past, they even had discussions about something called dirty weekends. The famous Icelandic Airlines certainly knows how to spread a message of sexual freedom with its bold slogans. Phrases like "looking for a daring weekend in Iceland," "a wild night in Reykjavik," and "Miss Iceland awaits you" are definitely attention-grabbing. But fear not, Icelanders take it all in good humor and don't take these slogans too seriously. For them, a night of fun and intimacy with a partner is just a normal part of life. It seems that the airline had a playful side too, as they had games on their website called Halldór Gets Lucky at the Blue Lagoon and Hildur Gets Lucky at the Blue Lagoon. In these virtual games, characters chase their opposite sex around the famous Blue Lagoon, earning points for achieving certain goals. Halldór, a masculine name, and Hildur, a feminine name, highlight that the fun is for everyone, regardless of gender. Translated into Roman Urdu in an easy, understandable and interesting way for audience retention, speaking of the Blue Lagoon, it's one of Iceland's most famous and unforgettable sights. This spa with its warm, all-year-round artificial lagoon is the perfect place to relax and unwind, especially when it's cold outside. It's no wonder it's such a popular destination for locals and tourists alike. When it comes to relationships, Icelandic men and women are known for their liberal views. There's no need to go through multiple dates before getting intimate. Sometimes, they find it perfectly acceptable to engage in such activities early on to gauge the chemistry in the relationship. Other times, after just the first date, it's not uncommon for the woman to invite the man to her home or apartment. Icelandic women are quite empowered and take a lot of initiative, even in business. It's not unusual to see a woman leading a family business while her husband takes on a more supportive role. Equality and independence are highly valued in Icelandic society, and it reflects in their work teams as well. So, there you have it, Iceland, a place of sexual freedom, humor, and progressive attitudes, where people embrace their desires and relationships in a refreshingly open and accepting manner. It's no wonder this beautiful country continues to fascinate and attract visitors from around the world. In Iceland, women hold a unique status compared to many other countries worldwide. They may have similar status as men or even be the ones with more responsibilities. This is in contrast to places where it's often expected that men take the lead, and women in leadership roles are less common. In the United States, Mexico, and many European and Asian countries, there are unwritten rules when it comes to dating and sexual relationships. Generally, people expect several dates before officially entering a relationship, with the magic number often being 3. However, in Iceland, some men and women prefer to cut to the chase. If they see sexual relations as an essential aspect of a potential couple, they might get straight to the point and then get to know each other on subsequent dates if there's mutual interest. In Iceland, it's not the norm for a romantic relationship to be recognized first and then consummated physically. Instead, a sexual connection often comes first, followed by dating. While this is generally the case, it's important to note that there are variations, and the key aspect is that Icelanders view this approach positively without any negative stigma. The cultural beliefs and customs surrounding sexual freedom in Iceland and other Nordic countries can be traced back to historical explanations. From the time of the first settlers in Iceland, gender equality and openness about sexuality have been part of the culture. The Viking settlers, such as Ingolf Arnarsson and his wife Huld Vigfrotur, who established themselves in Reykjavik in 874, played a role in shaping these attitudes. Throughout Icelandic history, women played diverse roles. While some stayed at home, taking care of children and contributing to farming and building, there were also female warriors who could rise to leadership positions. Viking culture had an open attitude towards sexuality, and premarital relationships were common. In fact, a woman could even test a potential future husband's compatibility and decide not to marry him if he didn't measure up. Marriages could be arranged by families, but the women had the final say, and they could marry from the age of 15, often with much older men. Viking women had many rights, including the ability to divorce and inherit land. Reasons for divorce could include wearing clothing of the opposite sex, being homosexual, or refusing to have relations for a period. At the beginning of the Viking era, extramarital relations were accepted, but later on, they became a crime. If a man or woman was caught in an affair, they could be killed, along with their lovers. These historical foundations have contributed to Iceland's unique and accepting approach to sexual freedom, gender equality, and open-mindedness, making it one of the most progressive and intriguing societies in the world. The Icelandic sagas, which described the settlement of Iceland during the 10th and 11th centuries, frequently portrayed sexual relations as a part of life. Later, in 1707, a devastating smallpox outbreak struck Iceland, claiming the lives of about 12,000 Icelanders, equivalent to a quarter of the population at that time. During this crisis, Iceland was under the rule of the Kingdom of Denmark, and the king implemented a law mandating that every Icelandic woman should have 6 children, whether married or not. This measure was seen as necessary for the survival of the population and was not viewed as unfair or shameful. These historical events and cultural influences have left their mark on Iceland's approach to dating and relationships. As a result, the traditional notions of courtship, idealized romantic love, and dating before engaging in sexual relations are not as prevalent in Iceland as in some other countries. Instead, intentions are often more direct, and there are no elaborate courtship dances. Viking women in the past could have premarital relationships to choose their future husbands, and today, people in Iceland may also engage in relations first to determine if they want to deepen a personal relationship. Icelanders generally find dating without a connection or physical intimacy uncomfortable. The preferred order is to meet someone at a party, bar, or through an app, go to each other's places, have a relationship, and then decide whether or not to continue seeing each other. Icelandic women's equality and independence are evident in various aspects of society, including universities and parliament. In universities, there are about 2 women for every male student, and in parliament, approximately 50% of the members are women. Icelanders do not hold the belief that only men always want to have sexual relations. It is accepted and seen as normal that women want them too, and they are assertive in expressing their desires and asking for what they want. As a result of this open and accepting attitude, there is no shaming of women for expressing their sexual intentions in Iceland. On the contrary, Icelandic society celebrates the initiative and assertiveness of women who confidently pursue what they desire without feeling embarrassed. Due to these cultural norms, men from other countries may sometimes feel intimidated by the assertiveness of Icelandic women, who are unafraid to express their desires, take the initiative, and pursue what they want. But ultimately, this mindset fosters a healthy and respectful approach to relationships and empowers both men and women to be open about their desires and preferences. Icelandic culture celebrates and admires women who are strong, capable, and comfortable with themselves, even if they have had many partners. Expressing one's thoughts and desires openly is not looked down upon; on the contrary, it's considered normal and empowering. Marriage in Iceland may seem unusual compared to some other countries. Couples may have relations before or after marriage, and the concept of a completely terminated relationship is not common. Unmarried parents raising children together is widespread, with about 70% of children in Iceland being born to unmarried parents. Bathing naked, especially in safe hot springs, is not considered a sexual experience. Instead, it's a way to connect with nature and embrace human nature. It's also practical for travelers who can avoid carrying wet clothes. However, it's essential to be cautious around natural pools, as some areas may be unstable, and boiling water can be present beneath the surface. These unique cultural beliefs and practices make Iceland a fascinating and intriguing country, where openness, acceptance, and a strong connection to nature shape the way people approach relationships and live their lives. Iceland has been a trailblazer for gender equality, and it's one of the best places in the world to be a woman. Nearly 90% of women are employed, and they hold prominent positions, including in politics. If you're planning to visit Iceland and want to learn more about the country, consider exploring other videos available on the channel that showcase this amazing destination. However, it's essential to keep certain things in mind. While Icelanders do have a positive view of sexuality and nudity, it's crucial to respect their culture and not perceive the country as a place solely for sexual fun. Iceland has so much more to offer, especially in terms of its stunning natural wonders, so make sure to prioritize exploring the country's breathtaking landscapes. It's worth noting that while Icelandic women are decisive, assertive, and independent, this doesn't mean that anyone who visits the country will have dozens of them pursuing them or find it effortless to go to their apartments. Like anywhere else, building meaningful connections takes time, respect, and genuine interest. In conclusion, Iceland is undoubtedly one of the most unique and fascinating countries on the planet, offering a lot to explore and appreciate beyond its liberal views on sexuality. Consider the perspectives presented in the videos and think about whether this view of personal relationships is more positive or if you prefer the approach in your own country. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to the channel with the bell icon to receive more engaging and informative videos about Iceland and other exciting topics.